TF2 has a lot of strange parts, over 50 to be exact, which all count many different statistics, from damage dealt to critical kills to allied healing to people you've extinguished with your own piss. I mean, there's a wide variety of statistics these parts count. But since 2015, they stopped adding new strange parts. So today, I thought of some ideas for strange parts that Valve should add into the game. So without further ado, let's get started. The first statistic that comes to mind for me that should be able to be tracked is the total distance that you have blast jumped with a weapon. This would work with both rocket launchers and sticky bomb launchers, and I feel like it would be used mainly by trollers. One problem does present itself with this concept, however, which is what unit of measurement will be used when displaying the distance. Will it be feet, meters, miles? They could just say whatever and use hammer units as the measurement, which is the measurement of distance used in source games, but a vast majority of players who are new to TF2 don't know what a hammer unit is, which would then lead to Valve adding a new form of measurement just for one part, which is way too much work for just a hard, persevering company like Valve.
Stop the cap!
So this will most likely never see the light of day, but the concept is pretty cool. One of Pyro's main source of damage is afterburn, and Pyros kill people a lot with afterburn, so why not add a strange part for afterburn kills? This would work on flamethrowers, flare guns, and the Hulong heater because that can light people on fire, and this would for sure be a fan favorite for Pyros. Honestly, I'm actually surprised that this isn't in the game already because getting kills with afterburn is extremely common in game, and it just seems like something they would have added from the beginning. Now, some of you guys may be wondering, what do I mean by an environmental kill? Some examples of environmental kills include charging into someone and them dying from fall damage as a result of a charge, air blasting someone off of a cliff, getting hit with a Necro Smasher during Halloween, etc. This would be a fan favorite for Pyros because when Pyros see people running along this cliff and upward, or on the islands in Sweden, or around the last point in Frontier, you already know they're going to do everything in their power to air blast you off. This would also be used heavily by soldiers and demomen because shooting a rocket at someone and watching them fly to their demise is also pretty funny. So an environmental kills stat counter would most likely be widely appreciated. This would only be able to be used with two weapons, which are the Machina and the Shooting Star, and it would count the amount of times you've hit a collateral, which if you don't know what a collateral is, now you know. This would be pretty appreciated by sniper mains alike because there are some nerds out there that are cracked out of their fucking minds with the body shot machine, and I feel like everybody who seriously uses the Machina as their primary will most likely put it on their gun, just to show how good they are at hitting sick collaterals for their montages on YouTube. Killing someone with the last bullet of your gun is one of the most satisfying things to ever happen to people in a video game, and I feel like it'd be pretty cool if they added a strange counter for that, because there's a bunch of weapons that I think would work perfectly with this. Rocket launchers, yes. Revolvers, definitely. Hell, even SMGs, one of the only spray weapons in the game, would perfectly fit this part. I also think it would be kind of funny to see a heavy with a minigun with a kills with last bullet strange part applied to it. That's just how you know this guy's a nerd with heavy, or a flamethrower with it. I actually don't know what would be more infuriating to get killed by, but that is an argument that can be settled in the comment section or in my Discord server where we talk about all things Slide FN, so if you guys want to join it, link is in the description. Okay, enough plugging, back to the video. Another really fun thing to achieve in video games is multi-kills, and if you don't know what that is, it's when you kill multiple enemies in a row in a short amount of time. Other games have already taken advantage of this feature, such as Overwatch, but I feel like they should at least be able to be counted in TF2. If there was a part in the game for double kills, triple kills, hell, even quad kills, everyone, and I mean every soldier, demo, heavy, pyro, and spy main will have it on their primary, because those classes pull multi-kills out of their ass if you're good with them. All in all, it's another part that I feel like would be much appreciated by the community. I know, this is dumb. a part that displays how much money you've wasted in the game. This would probably only get used by traders and chronic gambling addicts, but I do feel like this part could be used as a rich flex. I mean, imagine getting killed by someone and their unusuals unboxed part was at like 1,000 or something. I feel like that would be pretty neat in my opinion, but also pretty dumb. They probably shouldn't add this. This part would count how many times you've killed your Steam friends. This part doesn't have too much to it, and it would most likely only be used with people who regularly MGE their friends, but the concept is rather interesting. There are also those insanely rare times where you and your friends coincidentally get queued into the same exact game of casual as one another, which is really funny by the way, but that only happens once every blue moon, so let's just move on. If you main Pyro, you've probably killed someone with an air blasted rocket, and some Pyros are really good at that, and killing someone with their own projectile is just pretty funny. So I feel like a strange part for deflection kills will be pretty neat and very much appreciated amongst all Pyros alike. This part I feel like would probably be one of the most unique parts in the game and would maybe become one of the most used parts ever in the game. The part would count the highest kill streak you've gotten with that weapon, regardless of whether or not that weapon has a kill streak kit on it or not. However, unlike kill streak items where your streak is displayed amongst the server, you're the only one that can get to see it. And I can already imagine a strange, festivized Australian professional kill streak rocket launcher having this part at like 50, or an Islander with it at like 35 or something. Honestly, I feel like it would just be fun for players to keep trying to get that number higher and higher with every life, like a personal high score almost. This could work two different ways. One way that it could work is it should just count the total amount of damage you've taken in your entire time playing the game, which I guess the higher it is, the more you suck at the game or something, I guess, which is kind of dumb. But the other way it could work is it would apply to weapons such as Bonk Atomic Punch or a Vaccinator to count how much damage you've absorbed. So not damage that you've taken, but damage you've absorbed. I feel like the second option would be much cooler and unique, but I would also love to hear what you guys have to say about that one in the comments too. This one is pretty simple. It would count how many kills you've gotten while capturing the objective. It would be usable on pretty much every weapon in the game, and I feel like it would be decently used, especially with competitive players because a wide majority of the maps that are in the competitive map pool are control point maps, but overall, I feel like this would be pretty cool. This part would track the amount of time you've spent capturing objectives. This would most likely only be used on cosmetics because you can switch your weapon whenever you want when capping an objective, which would make the time inconsistent. But you can't switch your cosmetics while capping an objective, which means that you would be able to track a precise amount of time you've spent sitting on a control point or pushing a payload. This one would also probably be one of the most unique parts in the game. Kills on red and kills on blue. Obviously these would be two different parts of course, and this would be a pretty good way to rep your team and to show everyone that you either love red or love blue. I also think that this would be pretty cool with war paints that have team colored variants, because then that just shows the server even more how much you rep their team. This one, I just don't like spies that use the dead ringer at all, and I want it so that whenever that number goes up on the part, I can laugh at them. That's really it. Now we've reached the conclusion of the video, but if you have any other ideas for strange parts that I didn't yet mention, leave them in the comments below and I'd love to hear what you guys got to say. Like I've said in previous videos, I adore the customizability of pretty much everything in TF2. And if we ever got new strange parts, it would only increase the uniqueness of the weapons and cosmetics that these are applied to, and it would increase the possibilities of things you can do in the game, which is another one of the things that has been carrying TF2 all this time. Its customizability and its endless possibilities. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, please subscribe, drop a like. Thank you guys for being here. Peace out. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Love you all.